Welcome back to Her Money with Reese. Today, I'm going to show you how to free up $500 a month without paying off your smallest debt first. Yes, you heard that right. I am going to show you how to free up $500 a month without paying off your smallest debt first. This video is especially for you if you've been doing all the right things, tracking your spending, cutting back, and throwing every extra dollar at the smallest debt, just like the experts say. But somehow, you still cannot breathe. You're still stressed. You still feel stuck. I see you. I've been you. And I'm here to help you flip the script and finally get your power back. So guess what? Let's get into it and let's see how we can free up $500 a month. Are you ready? Paying off your smallest debt won't always give you the relief that you need. I know that might go against everything you've heard about the debt snowball method. And trust me, it can be helpful. But if you're following it and still living check to check, if you're still not sleeping well at night, then it's time to rethink and to think the way differently. If you've been following the snowball method and still feel stuck, you're not alone. But guess what? You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it correctly. You're paying off your smallest debt first. That may work for some of us, but it may not work for some of you. My husband and I, we personally use the snowball method, but I know it's not for everyone. And in my brains, when I was doing it, I'm thinking, oh, it's for everyone. But I've learned over the years that the snowball method does not work for everyone. And if I haven't shared it with you before, I'll share it with you now. I am a Dave Ramsey coach. I went through his coaching program. I love his coaching program. And because of Dave Ramsey's method, it helped my husband and I to get out of debt. But I know there are a lot of people that are not Dave Ramsey fans. They don't believe in his methodology. So I'm here to give you another way of getting out of debt and getting an extra $500 a month. So now when we did use the snowball method, it gave us momentum and those quick emotional wins. And I am so grateful for that season. But I've also coached women where the snowball method wasn't exactly the right fit for them. Because when you're barely making it, chipping away at a small balance doesn't give you the breathing room you desperately need. That method works when you have extra income and fewer demands. Because if you have extra income and fewer demands, guess what? You have less pressure. But if most of your paycheck disappears before you've exhaled, it's time for a different approach. Let me know if this sounds familiar. Because I'm telling you, what I'm going to share with you in a second, it is so familiar to so many of us today. So, let me know if this sounds like you. Your check hits the bank. You pay your rent. You pay your car note. You pay your utility bill. You pay that one random loan. You might have one or two credit cards. And suddenly, after you've done all of this, now don't forget you've worked 5 days this week. Probably. It depends on what your work schedule is. You have worked 40 hours, maybe more. But after you've paid all of your bills, guess what? You're back at zero before you even bought groceries, or maybe before you even bought gas for your car. But either way, regardless of what it might be, after you've paid all of your bills, you go to look to see what you have left, and guess what? You're at zero. Now that is not sustainable. If anything, that is depressing, it's discouraging, and it is frustrating. That's what I call survival. That's not sustaining. And you deserve better than that. You're working full time, you have a good job, but things still are not panning out correctly. I've said this many times before. This mindset shift could literally change how you move for the next 6 months or even for the next 6 years. So again, I'm asking you, like I always do, let's work on our mindset. Let's shift it. So the biggest block, a high monthly payment that's draining your cash and your energy. Let's be real. It's not always the total amount of debt that's hurting you. It's the payment that comes with it. And so I got to tell you this funny story. When my husband and I were dating, we wasn't even married yet. I had a job. I was probably making like $8 an hour. And I was getting paid like $800 every 2 weeks. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I had it going on. So he went with me to get this car. And the only thing I cared about was the payment. What's the payment? And you won't believe back then my payment was only like $215 a month. So I'm here to tell you that the total debt may not be the issue. It may not be what's hurting you, but it's the amount of money that you're having to take from your paycheck every time you get paid to pay this one high bill. So back then, $215 for me and my income, that was high. But if I used the snowball method and got rid of the smallest debt first, back then I didn't know nothing about it, then my $215 a month payment would have continued to hurt me. So again, I want you to remember, keep this in your mind as you watch the video. Sometimes the total amount of your debt, that's not what's hurting you. It's the payment that comes with it. It's the $560 a month car payment that you have to pay this year, in this century, in 2025. $560, that's probably like a reasonable payment. You may have a $700 personal loan. That's a big amount of money to come out of your paycheck, depending on how much you're making every 2 weeks. So just say if you're bringing home $2,500 every 2 weeks, and by the time you pay your loan, your car note, your mortgage, or your rent, or any other outstanding debt you have, $700, that's a big chunk of what your pay is. You may even have like a $480 credit card minimum. $480, depending on what your monthly or what your every 2 week salary is, that's a lot of money. So that payment alone is what's hurting you. It's not the balance of what that debt is. So that's what's eating up your ability to live, to save, and to breathe, is these large monthly payments. So the goal isn't to knock out small balances with this discussion, with this video. But again, I'm being totally honest with you, and I'm being upfront with you. My husband and I use the snowball method. But I will say again, that method is not for everyone. Everyone has their own individualized financial situation. So I'm going to be transparent with you. I am a believer in the snowball method. But if I'm a coach and if I'm here to help you, I cannot be so rigid as to think you have to go my way. No, I have to be flexible and adapt to what your situation is. And so if you've tried the snowball method and it doesn't work for you, then I encourage you to stay for this entire video. Let's be real and let's help build each other up dollar by dollar, because that's why I'm here. So remember, the goal isn't to knock out the small balances with this video. The goal is to free up space in your budget and in your mind, because I want you to be able to breathe. Yes, paying off a $200 Target card, it feels so good that you have that card paid off. But if your payment on that $200 Target card was only $20 a month, is that really hurting you? I will let you answer that question. If you got a $20 credit card bill on Target, and you got a $750 consumer loan payment, which one is hurting your budget the most? We won't even answer that because you already know what the answer is. But what if knocking out that one big monthly payment could give you the margin to finally stop borrowing between paychecks? So now I'm going to break it down for you. And here's how. I need you to find the monthly drain. Okay, that's a nice word, right? I need you to find the monthly drain. Look for the debt with the highest monthly payment. Don't even think about the balances right now, because I'm here to tell you from experience, the snowball method is psychological. And it keeps you going. It gives you encouragement. It's like, yes, I'm winning. But again, I'll say to you, just because the snowball method worked for me doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. That's why I want to give you an alternative to try. I don't want you to give up on your finances, because that's what the enemy wants you to do. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to give up on your finances. You don't have to give up on your financial situation. You just have to figure out a witty idea on how you can get ahead with your money. So again, look at your debt that has the highest monthly payment, not the highest balance. That's the one that's squeezing your cash flow the hardest. Do you have a budget? I need you to look at your budget. And we've talked about what a budget is. I'm pretty sure in the future I'll have another video about budgeting, but I need you to look at your budget. Pull out your statements or open your banking account. Open the banking app. Most of us now have our banking app on our phone. So open it. Look at it. Which debt is taking the biggest bite out of your income every single month, every single paycheck? That's your target, not the tiny $300 balance. Go for the one with the $400, $500, or $600 monthly payment, because that's where your breathing room is trapped. Okay? If you pay off, again, I'll say target. If you pay off your $20 a month target bill and you still have a $525 bill, say on another credit card, what is going to give you the most breathing room? Is it going to be that bill that you get rid of to free up $525 a month? Or is it going to be that bill that you get rid of that frees up $20 a month? So we both know that what will give you the biggest breathing room is for you to get rid of that $525 a month payment. Now, did I say that was easy? That's not going to be easy. You may have to cut out some subscriptions. You may have to cut out eating out. You may have to cut out shopping. You may have to cut out some of your coffee runs. You need to do whatever it takes to get that bill paid off so that you can have that $525 extra per month. You may have to Uber. You may have to deliver pizzas. You may have to get a part-time job. But I will use the word that Dave Ramsey used. You have to get gazelle intensity to get rid of that $525 a month payment that's draining your monthly income. Now that's weighing on which debt keeps you circling in your mind. So if you have a debt that may be $525, it may be $350. Which one is bothering you the most? Which one are you thinking about when you're driving? Which one are you thinking about when you're sleeping and you wake up during the night and it keeps circling in your mind? That's emotional stress. And emotional stress is real. And that will affect how you save and how you spend. So let's go a little bit deeper. Which debt makes your stomach drop when the due date approaches? Again, which one of your debts, when you look at your bank app on your phone, which one of those debts that you have makes your stomach drop? When that due date approaches, you start feeling anxious, you dread it. Which one is it? Which one has your name on it mentally 24/7? That emotional burden, it really matters, because financial healing is not just math, it's mindset too. Shift your focus. Pay off the debt that gives you the most room to breathe per dollar. Not the smallest balance, but the biggest impact. And if you get nothing else out of this, I want you to know that your financial picture is personalized. And just because it worked for Bobby Sue, that don't mean it's going to work for you. So please shift your focus. Pay off the debt that gives you the most room to breathe per dollar. But I also want you to include the one that gives you the most peace in your mind. And once you get your mindset changed, and your mindset does shift, I don't care what it takes. Do whatever you can to get rid of that debt. It may take you 18 months. It may take you 2 years. But if you look at your budget, I can assure you that there are things that you can cut out or things that you can do without so that you can get rid of that debt. It's miserable to be controlled by debt. And I'm telling you what I know. I know what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck. I know what it's like to have bills or debt roaming around in your mind when you should be concentrating on your job or concentrating on what you're doing. you're thinking about that bill that's coming up. So it's so important that you get rid of the debt that will give you room to breathe. But now when you get rid of that debt and it gives you room to breathe, that is not for you to go out spending and shopping. No, that's not what it's for. You need to continue to pay off all of your little debts or big debts so that you have more room to breathe. So just remember, the younger you today has to be responsible enough to take care of older you tomorrow. So don't focus on the smallest balance if the snowball method doesn't work for you. I want you to focus on the debt that gives you the most breathing room. That's going to be the biggest impact in your life. So ask yourself, which one of these, when gone, will actually move the needle? If paying off one account frees up $300 or $500 every month, you know what? That is freedom. But I will tell you again, it's not freedom for you to go shopping and throw it away. It's for you to keep going down the line. Once you get rid of that debt, look in your bank app. Which next debt is causing you stress? Do whatever it takes. Because I'm telling you, we are strong. And once we make up our mind that we're going to do something, guess what? We can do it. And just every time you make that extra payment to get rid of that $500 a month, that alone will give you peace of mind just to see that balance going down some. Please don't give up. Just because the snowball method didn't work for you does not mean that there's not a method that doesn't work for you. That's why we're talking about this today. So if you can pay off that one account that gives you freedom, that's real power, because now you can start building and not just surviving. Because remember, when you're in survival mode, you make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. You beat yourself up. You're stressed out. And honestly, having the stress of debt can make you be someone that you don't even like. Like, you will look in the mirror and ask yourself, how did I get here? What is wrong with me? It's because you have that stress, because you have bills that are so much per month that it's eating up your income. I want you to ask yourself, what will give you options? Say, self, what will give me options? Would freeing up $350 a month let you rebuild your savings, cover school fees, or sleep through the night? That's your next step. Let's get practical. What would you do with an extra $350 every month? What would you do with an extra $500 every month? Would you finally build that emergency fund? Say yes to the field trip without guilt. Stop putting groceries on your credit card. That extra margin opens up your options. And when you have options, guess what? You have peace. This is how you start feeling better now, not years from now. I want that to be that for you, because it's not about being debt-free in 7 years. It's about finally breathing in month 1. It's about feeling the weight lift off before your debt is gone. Comment freedom, and I'll send you the link to join my wait list for my women's cohort with 3 to 5 women, or my personalized coaching to help reduce debt pressure, free up your income, and rebuild your financial life with clarity and care. This isn't just about the numbers. It's about how you feel in your body, in your mind, and in your life. And I'm here to help you get that peace. And so, like the video said, let me help you free up $500 a month. I want you to do that by looking at what bill on your app or either on your bank statement, what bill causes you the most grief per month. If you can get that debt paid off as soon as you can, that's how you're going to free up $500 a month. Not by doing the snowball method, because at that point you're only paying off the smallest to largest debt. That may not free up $500 for you. You need to figure out what subscriptions you can cancel. You need to figure out how you can stop eating out so much. anything that you can cut out of your life to free up $500 a month, that's what I recommend that you do so that you can have peace in your mind. If this video resonated with you, please do me a favor. Like this video, share it with someone who needs a fresh start, and don't forget to subscribe. Because guess what? We rise dollar by dollar, and you don't have to do it alone. You're here with me. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Look at your app. Figure out what you need to do to pay off that debt that's causing you the most stress. Because I want to help you free up $500 a month without paying off that smallest debt. Thank you for watching.